So first of all, let me introduce, my name's Ted Moss. I'm with B&I Pipeline Chapter. We meet on Fridays at the Westlake Rec Center, like much of you guys. I think we also have the Power Partners chapter here too, correct?
Yep. Yes.
So what we're going to do today is just kind of go around, and we want this kind of be a positive forum where we introduce ourselves, talk about what you do, and maybe mention a thing or two that you're doing to move your business forward, how you're dealing with these challenges in a positive way. And maybe, you know, tell us a good success story that might be coming out of this, and just kind of how you're coping. And then we'll see where we end up, and we can have some, you know, open discussion about some of the other issues we're dealing with. So
yeah, I mean, like, basically, just to kind of summarize, I think we all know the negative. So we thought if you have something positive to share about your business, maybe something you're doing that's different, even if you help one person on this call, it could probably mean the difference for them. So we all know the negative things, but you know, what positive things have you seen this week, or whether it's you or a company or something that you think could be helpful? It could be a book too. It doesn't have to be a thing. It could be, you know, something that you're learning that is allowing you to cope with the new normal. So yeah, I guess
why don't you start, Dan?
What's that?
Why don't you start?
All right. So I am Dan, as you guys all know. I don't know, I think, like, for me, at first I was freaking out, I think, like everybody else. And last week, because we have about 170 clients, so last week I saw the like the lead generation drop in our reports for our clients to like almost zero. And then what I saw was everything just went back to normal this week. Like, literally all of our clients' leads, their numbers are about where they were, you know, even before this whole thing. And I think the new normal is actually going to be okay. The other thing is, I was talking to my team. It seems like on our end, most of what we do is lead generation. What I've been observing, I know that Ted and I have a very unique vantage point that maybe you guys don't have. And what we're finding is everybody's pushing harder at their businesses. They're working harder on their businesses. They're working harder on their marketing. And that's important for us. Like, we want to measure that because we want to, you know, like, understand like how that's looking. So for us, that has been a good sign. So yesterday, the day before, it was Monday, we were in a team meeting. We were like going through our meeting like we normally do. And like halfway through the meeting, I basically said, guys, I'm like, does this matter right now? I'm like, let's just talk to each other and not like go through our systematic, going through all of our customers and everything. And we basically came up with that we needed to do more on Facebook, like get ourselves out there on Facebook. So I said, everybody go away, and I want you all to screenshot all the like Facebook ads or the things you click on, and I want you to dump it into this OneNote that we have. And then the next morning I came in, one of our content creators took like the best of that idea, and she made a really cute ad, put it on Facebook, and we got a lead by that afternoon. Like, literally super simple. It wasn't, you don't have to have a marketing firm to do this kind of thing. But that was really telling to us. Was I started just looking at like the way people are advertising on Facebook, like when you're going through the feed, and tried to understand like the temperature of like how they're talking, how they're communicating, what are they asking to click on to view more. And we just had that conversation and went through that just for ourselves, not for our clients. So just think of this story not as us as a marketing firm, but just think of us as a company that was just trying to figure out, what is my message, you know? And for us, that was a win. It was like we got a bite yesterday in this crazy, chaotic time that we're all in. And I'm a pretty big believer, like, so our construction people not having problems. Most of our tradespeople not having problems. Our manufacturers are seeing some slowing, but not having problems. The only industry we've seen so far that's having challenges is the dental industry, because they're mandated not to practice. So we've seen massive layoffs in that industry. We've got one customer that that has grease, that they replace grease in restaurants. They're also having problems. Outside of that, the other 165 customers we have are literally doing just fine. At first, we were afraid to reach out to those customers because we were afraid to like kind of stir the pot, like we get canceled.
Oh yeah, you guys.
And we babysat our way into it. But then my business coach, who I think pretty highly of, he was talking to about 30 business owners last week, and he's like, look, at the number one thing you need to do is communicate to your customers. Like, you will come out ahead by over communicating. So we started putting together a plan on over communicating. By the way, Ted, you should never have chosen me to go at first, for crying out loud. I'll just sit here the whole time. So that's it. I can blab forever. But those are some of the positive things that like we have seen that hopefully will help you guys in some way. Just thinking about like, how do you talk to your customers? Do you go in the corner and hide from them and hope to God they don't cancel you? Do you come out and talk to them? Me as a business owner, the last thing I want to do, even in this dire time, is cancel my vendors. Because I understand that ripple effect and how that's going to affect everybody else. And so I'm trying to keep it as normal as possible. I think that if you're talking to your customers and you're in front of them, that you're more likely to be the one that isn't canceled, because you're creating that deeper relationship and you're providing that value. Obviously it is circumstantial. None of us have ever been through this before. I can't sit here as the expert and say this is what you do with a massive viral breakout, but I can only tell you what I've learned in the past couple of days, and that's what I've got so far. So let's go with Dave.
All right. So I'm Dave Montana. I'm the president of Pipeline Chapter. Meet with Ted Friday mornings, starting at 7:30. So the biggest thing for us, one of the most important things for us as a business, need to answer your phone still. Just because even if you're a business that's been idled, you still should have someone answering the phone, because we're working. We've got a long list of projects that we're working on. We're working at actually retirement assisted living facility. We're actually being mandated to finish a unit in there for a homeowner she sold her house. She has no place to live, has to get done. So we've shifted our resources to make that happen. So instead of being done at the end of next month, we'll be done before the end of next week, is the way it looks. So that's the good news. The other side of it is, there's been a little pushback from customers saying, can you just hold off? But also we're reaching out to some people and saying, can we still come and work if we're doing an outside project? Or say, yes, you're not coming in contact with us. We're willing to do the thermometer checks. We're doing it every day anyways. So some of our client base, they require it, along with, the state's requiring right now that it's being done. But the biggest thing I say is, answer the phone. I still get Google calls calling me every day, trying to eliminate those, but answer the phone, because it makes a difference. Because if you don't answer and try to schedule something out, even if it's 2 weeks from now, they're moving on to the next person, hopefully. And then when they pick that phone up, they're making that connection. Some businesses, they're critical. Some businesses, maybe they're not, but you kind of look, the definition is still can be spliced out there of what's critical and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, absolutely.
Answer the phone. That's the biggest advice I can give.
That's smart.
Cool. Anybody next? Jordan?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Yeah, I completely agree with Dan and Dave both. Like, now's really the time to position yourself as the business that's still there, still active, and keeping that relationship going, whether it's with existing customers or future customers. That, like Dave said, it may not happen for, maybe even a month from now, but if you make that relationship now, when it's time to move forward, then they're there and ready for you. My name is Jordan, by the way, for some people who don't know me. I'm with the Power Partners chapter on Tuesday mornings, and I do my business is Paper Tech, payment processing technology. So we do credit card processing as well as business lending. And right now is a good time for me to help clients with things such as online ordering, or even just a mobile position, a mobile point of sale or something that they can use so they can make some sales, you know, whether it be delivering for people or even curbside pickup, stuff like that is a good time for me to get in there. I look at this time as what I call like a short-term disruption in the industry and in our business, but that's a great opportunity for us to position ourselves to be a leader, even if it's slowed down now, but position ourselves that when we're coming out of this, whether ourselves or our clients, that our businesses can really thrive. With my business lending side, there's obviously tighter underwriting with a lot of business loans, but we can still get those done. There's people that are still lending. I work with lenders all over the country, and you know, even if it's setting up a credit line so that when they come out of this, they've got something to pull on because they have no money from the last couple months. These are things that I can really help my clients and future clients, you know, continue to come out of this alive and still be able to thrive once we're back in full swing.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
Sure.
Brendan, you want to go?
Sure. Brendan McCarthy. I'm a business attorney with Thompson Hine, a law firm that's downtown, but I've been working from home like everybody else since March 11th. So it's been a couple weeks, but I primarily help clients with buying or selling companies, investing in companies, or negotiating their commercial contracts. I've been seeing a lot of clients struggling with liquidity issues. As you've all seen as well, they're talking about different options, whether to just do layoffs or do furloughs, or transition employees to independent contractors on a high commission basis. So they've been looking at a lot of different options, and we're also seeing a lot of clients that are asking about the force majeure provisions in their contracts, the acts of God provision, for the first time probably ever. So we're looking at a lot of those. So I guess in terms of the positive, it's been a lot of work. It's been pretty busy. Clients need help interpreting kind of all of the new laws and regulations that are coming out. We've assembled a task force at the firm that consists of many different specialists that deal with the labor and employment issues, the benefit issues, and interpreting these shutdown orders. Some businesses have questions about whether they're essential or not. So we're dealing with a lot of those types of questions too. So it's been pretty busy on those types of things, especially.
Very cool. Who else did we get here?
I can go.
I'll go.
Oh, what?
Doesn't matter.
I'll go. I have to pop off right at 1 because I do have another student. But my name's Emily. I am an academic counselor with Kelly McLean Achievement Center with the Power Partners chapter. The business is Kelly is the owner, and then I am the only full-time employee. So Kelly's been working a lot on the business, kind of like what you guys said at the beginning. She's been working on marketing. So we have two types of students typically. There are contract students, and then there are students that just come in by appointment. So kind of like what Dan was saying at the beginning, like we were nervous about calling the contract students, that they were going to say, hey, like we want to go on hold. The ACT has been canceled and pushed back until June. We don't really want to do anything. But we actually found the exact opposite. When we started calling the families, they were overjoyed to hear from us and just kind of say, and happy that the students that have worked with us are in the right spot. They're not panicking like a lot of the other junior high school students are that haven't taken the ACT or haven't done college visits or haven't talked about career exploration. So actually we got a couple ideas from the parents who we've actually put together a mini plan, a 10 appointment plan that includes 3 career and college exploration appointments, and then 2 whatever they want to do, and then 5 ACT appointments. So it's a mini plan that's significantly discounted from our original one-on-one appointments, and that's actually going to go live today. So we're really hoping that that continues to generate business for us, not knowing how long it's going to be like this. So going through virtual tours, college tours with students is super important. And then also, I always kind of write names down here. A lot of our students who are unsure about careers, setting up these types of appointments for students to talk to people and, you know, what's the day-to-day like, what was your hardest college course, like those types of things, because people are at home. So I've actually set up probably about 15 over the past 2 days for our students to talk with people, you know, in different careers to kind of help them through that process, because college application time is going to hit us right in the face in August, and students need to be prepared. So really, again, the positive out of it has been, you know, contacting our juniors' parents, them being ecstatic that, you know, they have us in their corner for questions, but then also helping us create that smaller package to continue to generate business, you know, like this. And kind of like I said, I've got an appointment at 1 o'clock, an ACT appointment. We have students in Texas, New Jersey, New York, California, so the online transition was super simple for us. Yeah, that's what I got.
Awesome. Do you recommend any Netflix movies?
I am on appointments until 9 o'clock at night. I go to bed, I wake up, and I am.
She's killing it, Ted. She's killing it right now.
Yeah. And I'm more of a reader, psychological thriller.
Time for Netflix later. Now
Yeah.
it's time to right, gotcha. All right.
Thank you, Emily. That was cool.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you. Melissa?
Hi.
I'd like to go.
Yeah, anybody? Melissa, you want to go?
Judy?
Judy. I can go.
Okay,
This
go
is Judy
ahead.
Hopkins. Hi, this is Judy Hopkins. I'm with the Pipeline chapter, and I'm with Insurance Partners and specialize in employee benefits. And one of the things that our agency has done, they put together a great website just for the coronavirus, and it's not carrier specific so much as it is general information about whether it pertains to the family, pertains to your business, or just some good resources. They've put all of the you know, the government changes and mandates, and all of that information is there in one spot for our clients. The other thing we're doing is we're offering a webinar on trade, what's it called? Trade coverage, so that if you have people who are not going to pay their bills, that it's coverage you can buy that will cover that. So it's just getting the information out there. The biggest thing that I have found is definitely stay in contact with your clients. They do appreciate it. And any prospects, Pipeline chapter, I've sent that link out to all of you to share with whoever you want to share with. It might be the best thing you can do for one of your clients. And that's our philosophy right now is we're all in this together. How can we help? You know, so we're trying to make it be a resource for our clients and just be there to help them through. From the benefits side, you know, there's a lot of questions about, well, what happens if I have to lay all my employees off, or what happens, can I charge the employees? Can we keep this coverage in place while they're off? You know, so all these questions are coming up from all the various carriers, our clients who have many different carriers. So we're getting a lot of information from the carriers and just, you know, getting that to them in their hands so they can make wise decisions about how to handle it. I've got a group of 200 employees that shut down, and some are furloughed, some are laid off. And how do we handle it? Can we pay the benefits for these? You know, so you know, there's a complex set of issues. You know, each client is different, so it's just being there for them and sharing, you know, our knowledge and getting the answers if we can answer it, so that they can make those wise decisions as they move forward here. The other thing is, you know, one of the areas where some of these companies can save some money is if you've got clients out there that maybe now they want to review their benefits, or they want to review their property and casualty. It's a good time for them to do it and see if we can cut their costs. What more of a hero are you going to be if you can help them cut costs so that they can make it through this economic downturn? So it's just trying to be there for our clients and any prospects, actually anyone. So we've kind of opened things up. That's why I sent that link out, because it's not just for our clients. It's for anyone that, however we can help. How can we help? So,
Good point, Judy.
that's all I got.
Ted's muted, but
Ted, you're muted right now. I can see it.
Sorry, I'm on mute so you guys don't have to hear me typing all these notes out. So that's why I keep going on mute. But
I was just going to say, guys, if what Judy just said, if I can forward that email to you if anybody wants, that's all.
yeah, I'm putting the notes
Yes.
here. I'll
Feel
get this
free.
out to you guys. as
And
well.
there's the webinar, I think, would be a great thing for a lot of companies who maybe have had to close or they're losing business because of all this. It may be, they may have clients out there that now are closed down, so they're not going to be paying the bills. So they may want to sit in on that webinar.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there that now is a great time to that we're always trying to catch, and they're always on the run, but now they're slowed down, and we can really kind of take the opportunity
That's right.
with them and review these things, and which is a perfect opportunity for you and I.
Does anybody object to me putting this video on Facebook so others can learn about what we're saying?
I don't. I see you recording it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, but I think putting this out on Facebook could be very helpful for people. And I also want to get through everybody else as well. So whoever wants to jump in next, hopefully you can see my Word doc there just to introduce yourself and say something positive that's happened this past week.
Really quick, sorry, because I'm gonna have to pop off. Can you email the recording, or
Yeah.
I can just grab it?
Yeah,
off
I
the
can
page?
email it too. Yep.
Okay, I'm
Cool.
gonna, yeah. So thank you guys. Sorry, I'll watch the
No,
rest of
happy
it.
teaching.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks.
bye. Take care, Emily.
Bye.
I'll go next.
Great.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
So I am, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Melissa, and I own Only Prettier. Kind of in a unique situation here. We run the business myself. I am my only employee from my husband and wife. I am obviously not an essential business, but I'm still trying to do what I can. I'm not going into people's homes right now just because of the stay in order. So I'm, giving respect to that because it's just not something that is essential right now. But I am definitely still working on, I have bookings that I had, actually one that I was supposed to start this week, and I got it done in 2 days. So I could get it done before the order was in place, and they were able to still stay on my schedule. And they actually have babies that are going to be coming home in the next couple months that were born premature. So it was really important to get their house done and what they wanted, because after the babies come home, I can't do things in their house with paint and fumes and whatnot. So I was actually able to get a huge job done in 2 days to accommodate their needs. As far as everyone else, I've been in contact with them, and we're just kind of postponing until the order is lifted. And then, of course, we take precautions when I go into anybody's house with hand sanitizer and washing of hands and all of that stuff. And then being respectful as long as they're still okay with me coming into their home. So just keeping in constant contact with each homeowner and their unique situation is something that I'm doing right now. Also, definitely something that's really important is I'm still taking bookings. I'm still answering people's emails and questions, and because a lot of the times they just aren't sure of what I do or if it would work for them or what their options are. So I'm trying to stay in constant contact with anybody that has any questions or would be a potential client. I'm also doing virtual tours. So usually I go in and I'll look at someone's house after I give them an estimate. And obviously I'm not going into people's houses right now. So doing as much as I can virtually. So that's been a great option. This technology has just been really amazing to be able to utilize through all of this, since, you know, we can't really be in contact with people right now. So just trying to do as much as I can in that aspect. The other thing that's just been really interesting is because I do have kids and they are home and they're going to be homeschooled soon. So I'm going to be the teacher, which will be interesting to do once the order is lifted, trying to make sure that they get their schoolwork done, but also working at the same time, because obviously both are very important to me. And, you know, just trying to do second grade math is pretty hard. So like, but other than that, yeah, just doing the best I can, keeping in contact, I think, is the most important thing with, you know, everybody, and just letting them know what's going on and not leaving them hanging is, you know, just the best thing.
Very cool.
That's all I got.
Thank you. Rob, I think you're next.
I think I had kind of the same funk that I think that Dan had last week for about 3 days. And it actually was, my turnaround actually was last Thursday. And it was what Ivan Misner did, like a big thing last Thursday morning, still about networking and still B&I and how still to do it. I think the other big turnaround for me, quite frankly, was what Dan and Ted did last Thursday afternoon in terms of starting this was also a big one. And I think the next positive roll forward from there is just a lot of things I've done from the standpoint of telephone with people, email conversations, video conversations, whereby you can still have that connection and still reaching out and still be able to talk to people and share and still learn and still kind of feel like you're progressing and going forward. And then obviously to a certain element, I think there being business as usual and obviously still being in touch with clients and customers as to what they need and to what you're doing still for them and keeping that position from that standpoint as well. A couple of things that we've done in terms of with this down, from my standpoint, downtime too, is look a little bit is looking for the standpoint of, are there additional services that we can provide and what we can do that will parallel with the CFO. Oh, let me go back to the beginning. Sorry. I'm Rob Simon. The company is Sharp CFO, and we are outsourced chief financial officers for businesses and nonprofit organizations. But the other idea is, again, I was trying to maybe build some additional services that we can provide with CFO from the standpoint of a parallel standpoint. The other thing I've been looking at big time too is just reorganizing, having everything I need together where it is, making sure I've got everything updated, people I've talked to, and kind of developing, new and additional targets as well, so that when things, quote unquote, return to normal, open up again, everything can hit the ground running. And from another positive standpoint, I did have somebody arise or come out that we talked to Monday, actually, that I'm working some things because they are looking at trying to get some money and get some funding for some expansion that they need to do particularly with truck equipment as well. So there are people out there, obviously there's still a business still running and still have needs and are still growing. So that's, I think, predominantly I've kind of seen the last week.
Cool. All right, that's great. I appreciate everybody's feedback here today. I'll kind of try to wrap it up here. My name's Ted.
Well, I think we've got Jeff. Sorry,
Oh,
I can see the list.
Yeah, there we go.
I think Jeff is the last one on there. I'm not sure if there's anybody else.
I think Jeff, yeah. Hey, Jeff, you can go ahead. If he's hear us or locked up.
Buddy, you're on, or Jeff, you're on mute.
He might be on his cell phone and
Yeah.
maybe he's not listening.
Yeah.
I think he's talking to somebody. Okay, so let's go with Ted. Or is there anybody else? I think Jeff was the last one.
It looks like Jeff's connected through his cell phone. Jeff, we can't hear you because you're on mute. If you're talking to us, and you're on mute too.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about that. All right,
Sorry.
Ted, why don't you go ahead?
All right. So Ted with Verdium. What we do is lead generation, whether it's through web development, digital marketing, and even creating technology solutions for clients and Jordan, when you talked about, you know, from our standpoint, there's opportunities here from an e-commerce standpoint. So we're looking at what are the openings? What, you know, what is the guy who had a business who maybe the walk-in traffic has gone down? Can they sell online? Is this a great time for them to transition? And we've had some inquiries into that. The other interesting thing is, like Dan talked about, dentists. Dentists were relegated by state legislation to reduce their services to only essential or emergency services. Well, that's about only 25% of their business. Cleanings, teeth whitening, any of that cosmetic stuff is about 75% of their revenue. But so we had one dentist who chose to say, that's it, we're shutting down, we can't afford it. And we had another dentist who said, and we served several, who said, you know what, I'm not going to do that because I know that when I do a generalized teeth cleaning or exam, I often find that there are underlying issues which lead to other health problems. Gum disease, abscesses, root canals can lead to more serious problems like heart attacks and kidney failure, and there's all kinds of related health issues. So he created an online, virtual digital exam using a cell phone and a website that we created. And we put all the state guidelines in there. He's got it now linked to the City of Independence, where he's the emergency triage dentist for that area. And what happened in that point is we created a solution where competitors, and he's reached out to, he's even increased his footprint, his radius for people that he's going to be able to treat. And he's taking some of those even other dentists that have shut down and asking them to be part of his network so they can serve the community. That's just one example. We've had other clients who decided to increase their spending because trade shows were canceled. So we had one client take that budget from the trade show and say, hey, apply it to my marketing. And then, now I would like to say that we innovated and invented this last week, but we had already had on the books creating remote videos. Our ability to do video marketing, and we have a process where we can remotely interview our clients, use a slide deck to put up B-roll, pictures, images, videos. Long story short, we asked ourselves the question, what can we focus on to make this situation work to our benefit? And it's much like you, Rob, and Dan, and myself. We initially let fear kind of get into our system and say, oh my gosh, the world is on fire. And as we kind of calmed down and thought about it, we realized there's opportunity. So as an example, Dan and I did a video, sent that out to our customers, put it on social media about our remote video marketing. Got a lead yesterday working on that with that guy. It's allowed our customers who can't come in or don't want to come in to just keep doing business with us. So there's, I guess we're just trying to say that I'm seeing such a positive reaction to us being able to provide for our clients, like Judy is doing, in the insurance industry and so on. How can we, Rob, in your case, obviously transportation is booming because we're relying on truck drivers. The supply chain is probably overloaded right now due to hoarding to some degree, but at the end of the day, I think we're seeing what Americans do is they rise to the challenge and we adapt. And now that we remember that, we're like, okay, and what industries are going to be born out of this? Restaurants have pivoted and taken their wait staff, who they initially had to lay off, found that they're getting so many drive-through orders, takeout orders. They need more staff inside to prepare those things.
Yeah.
I saw an ad the other day for Michael's Craft Centers, and they sent out and they said, hey, listen, we've got your Easter packages right here. You can pick these packages online, drive up, we'll bring them out. Our staff's gonna be wearing gloves and masks. We maintain all of these sanitation standards, so you can be sure. So now people are like, oh, I don't have to go Easter shopping. Okay. So, I think there's gonna be a trend after this for that kind of service to continue, although we kind of already had it, right?
Yeah, I think you're right, Ted. I mean, I even with Melissa, because Melissa has to go into a house, right? She's got to go into a house and paint. I'm sure, and I could be wrong, but as she's listening here, and I I think Dave is probably similar, right? Like those, you guys are going to come up with your creative way of offering that reassurance to your clients as well. Like you're just going to figure out, how can I offer my service to you where I can come to your house, I'll isolate myself, right, to a certain point, but or maybe it's outside work or something along those lines. But you just kind of have to figure out, like, how is it going to work for you? If you can't figure out how to get to inside the house, obviously we're all restricted at the moment, then I would definitely be working on how you're going to handle the massive backlog you're going to have once
Right.
this is over, because I think people are going to be so happy to be free again, especially as the virus dies down. I mean, just dig down inside your own personal emotion and think about how you're going to feel, and what does that mean for people like Melissa and Dave who want to do home improvement and all of that. Those people are going to be so happy. They're probably tired of staring at their old cabinets and their broken down kitchen, that the minute it's over, they're going to be like, we've got to, like, who knows? I mean, as far as I know, they're already ripping out cabinets and getting ready to get you on the line because they couldn't stand it for the past 3 years. And then they're going to call you guys in the end. If you could even come up with a campaign along those lines, like, hey, are you sitting there staring at your kitchen? Get ready for me. Book me now. I'm booking up fast. And be ready for when you can get back in those houses.
Well, Dan, we got a client
I think
that does, I'm sorry to interrupt, he does
that's okay.
decks. He has a do-it-yourself DIY sort of, it's called modular decks, and he's killing it. And he's offering 12 months same as cash. And his offer is, buy now, pay when the lockdown's over, right? And people are buying these, home kits. So yeah, there's all kinds of opportunities. I'm sorry, who was talking? Judy?
I think it was Judy.
That's okay. It was me. Just, I think creativity is the name of the game here. We need to get creative with how we deal with our business on a day-to-day basis. It's a different normal, so we need to redefine our sales tactics, redefine what we do and how we can help our clients. And so I think creativity is going to set you apart. And just like the person with the deck, coming up with that marketing plan that will allow people to take advantage now and pay later. Coming up with like my message is, let us help you cut your costs.
Right.
So and it's just finding out what that trigger point is in this time. And how can we creatively use it to expand our business?
Cool.
Right.
I think we had Jeff still here. I mean, yeah, Jeff, did you want to jump on?
Sure. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Jeff.
Good.
Introduce yourself. Tell us what you do and what's going right in your business.
We're just, I think what's going right is that everyone's stepping up as a team, and we're really finding out a lot about each other, like, in person, like what they're, everybody's dealing with their personal lives and a lot of things. And, just what people care about. And it's just really cool to see everybody take on different strengths and different roles during this time. 2 months ago, I purchased my dad's business. It's Approved Plumbing. We've got 6-7 trucks, and we've got 12 employees, and it's kind of a fresh look as me not working in the field, me kind of like making more managerial decisions. And I think it's fun because it's, we our whole staff put together a 14-point checklist of what we need to be doing to make sure that we don't spread the virus in people's homes while we're running service calls, replacing water heaters. We are categorized as an essential service. It doesn't mean that we need to not sanitize and stuff. We as a team, we're committed to protecting the health and sanitation of the community. So it's just fun seeing different things. And I read about how the kids going into school, 60% of them are going to be doing jobs that aren't created yet. And after this economic shift, like what jobs are going to be created and what industries are going to be created. It's cool. And I think everyone's interested in doing things a little bit differently. And, like UPS and FedEx, I don't think they're even accepting, autographs on their iPads. They're actually, what's the trend now is to ask the client, can I sign this for you? And then, that seems to be the trend with, accepting, estimates or project, invoices and stuff like that. So it's just cool to see differences and talk to our clients. I made a list of our 1,000 top clients, and I'm just going through the list, calling, and I've got like just three little punch points, just making sure they're safe. I'm asking them if they're healthy and seeing what's going on with their family. And I think they're appreciating that. So that's just the same thing that everyone else is saying, just in a different industry.
That's great.
Thanks.
Are you guys staying about the same busy wise, or would you say because people are home more and flushing more toilet paper apparently? Are you guys keeping busy?
What I can show you is so the plumbing industry. Can you guys see my graph here?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So this blue line represents the cancellations in the industry.
Yeah.
So for instance, Seattle, when they had their first death in Seattle, there was a high amount of cancellations in the home service industry. This happened around like March 7th. And then for Cleveland, this happened around March 20th, March 18th, around maybe March 17th, So we had a ton of cancellations. We had like bathroom remodels cancel, different service projects cancel. Then this red line shows kind of like demand. So the call inquiries, dropped off in Seattle around March 5th, March 6th too. And then they're steadying declining. So they've noticed like a 6% decline, but I'm confident that in a month that we're going to see a real powerful incline. So we're just kind of working together as a team to make sure that we're prepared for that, because plumbing is one of those things where you could be in a home all day, and we want to service all our clients, and so we want to take care of everybody respectfully and patiently. So when we get that demand in a month or two, we want to be prepared as a team. So
great. That's awesome, Jeff.
Nice.
Thanks. Hi, Medina.
Hi, did you see me? I couldn't figure out what I was doing.
That's all right. You're on now. That's what's important. So what we're doing here, the format, Medina, is just kind of like BNI. Introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you do, but then we're trying to keep it positive. And what are some things that you're doing to try to keep your business going? Or what are some opportunities you've seen open up, and kind of how are you coping with that?
I'm a never give up type of person. It's just from deep within. And when I came home, I brought my entire office.
That's what you do.
Yep. I just brought my entire office home, and I'm navigating through, uncharted territories, but I'm going to figure it out.
Well, hey, Medina, let's start with introduce yourself and tell us what you do, because there's a couple chapters here.
Oh, I'm Medina, and I'm a Taste of Excellence Catering. So I sell catering and weddings and parties and events. So right now I am helping to displace brides that can't get married. So we're placing them in the new dates. I'm still working with people and talking with them, video conferencing. Like I said, I'm trying new things, and I'm not giving up. No way.
You are a glass half full kind of person, right?
Oh,
I want to be a phenom. I want to come out of this with like a couple 100,000 in sales, and I want people to be like, that was unheard of. So that's where I'm at.
Have you guys been able to brainstorm on your end about what you think like some opportunities might be coming out of this to, plan ahead, or how people might, plan more things at home or more cater, anything like that kind of discussions going on?
No, I mean, really, people are just kind of proceeding. Most people are proceeding as is, especially like for fall weddings and for 2021 and 2022 weddings. So we're just, I think, I don't think now when we throw a party, it's going to be even more amazing than it has. And we're all going to feel very grateful to be wherever we're at.
I agree. So,
I think that summarizes this whole bullet point list, right? It's like, let's prepare our businesses for this massive influx of joy and just happiness that we're coming out of it. But also, use this time to prepare for your business. If you've kind of procrastinated over the years, this is a great time to just fix some of the things you've always wanted to fix and just knock it off your list.
Hey, Medina, we recorded this, so we're gonna post it on social media and send you guys a link.
All right, cool.
If you want to watch it? So since you got here late, and
can I do my signature move?
Yeah,
you should.
Apparently, this is my signature move. It's Medina month.
It is Medina month, which
it's my year.
if you're not in our chapter, that comes off of it's truck month, which it always seems to be truck month. I see that now, Pat O'Brien, so many different. So it is Medina month, if anybody wants to know.
It's my year.
A year, it's Medina year. So I'm going to leave you guys with my thoughts. A good book to read right now is called The One Thing. I've been reading that book. It's a very interesting book in this regard. It's by a guy named Gary Keller, and it talks about going small. And the premise of this book really comes down to this: what is the one thing that you could do that would impact all of the other things to make them either less important or completely unnecessary? So that's my recommendation.
It's a great book. Yeah.
Perfect.
In the book, it says something like, if you have a domino regular size that knocks over one that's twice as big, by the 56th domino, you're knocking over something the size of Mount Everest. The point is that that most important thing could be very powerful down the line. So every week, just pick that one thing you think is the most important impact on your business. Great book, though. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Any other comments?
Know that you can still socially distance and golf at a golf course too. If anyone wants, my family owns a golf course. We're still open technically.
Oh, we're definitely get into that.
Yeah, we're one person per cart, and we raised our cups so no one's putting their hands in the cups or on the flags.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's classic.
Yeah.
Great.
Where's the golf course?
It's in Columbia Station, Royal Crest Golf Club.
Oh my God, I love Royal Crest. Nice little park.
Nice.
I look like a great golfer on that golf course.
Right.
I do too, because I grew up on it, which I should be much better though.
There's a couple of good par fours on that course that I like.
Yep, I'm looking at one right now.
Yeah, what's that dog leg around?
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at. It's number 4 right here.
Yeah, I love that one.
Great. That's great. Yeah, we're gonna have a party out there.
There you go. Just stay 6 feet away from each other.
Yeah, exactly.
We got room for it.
Hey Medina, you and I need to talk. I'll email you too about my upcoming nuptials.
I know, I'm excited.
You're getting married?
Yes.
When are you getting married, Ted?
Know that?
We got engaged at Christmas time. So
Publicly engaged.
And what's the date?
Engaged at a chamber networking event at the Christmas party.
Oh, that's right.
On Facebook, you can find
There's
it.
a couple 500 people. No big deal.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So fortunately, my fiance is the type of woman who we met at a networking event, so she appreciated the effort. So it was kind of neat. Yeah, we'll have to talk because next what I say, September. That's what we're looking at.
September.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a good month.
It'll
That's
come
gonna
quick.
be awesome.
Cool.
I still coronavirus is over by then. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you.
We'll try to keep you right at 1:30 out of respect for your schedules. I'm sure you're all super busy.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
we're going to do this probably next week if anybody wants to do it again. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was thinking next week, if you guys want, I was thinking what we could try to do is if everyone wants to try to dissect the bill that was just released.
Got it.
It might be a good topic next week if everyone can bring their just their takeaway from that, what they've learned. That could really kick off a nice start for stuff that we might need to know for payroll and all that other stuff. So,
good idea, Dan.
yeah. So if you can maybe study that this week, we'll put another Zoom out there and we'll connect with you guys next week.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right. See you guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Goodbye.
See y'all.